250 points. You know where I'm going?
I wish we could see LeBron in the 70s, Giannis in the 70s.
If Kyrie went back into time in the 60s and 70s, he would catch a witchcraft charge. He would be arrested for it.
Welcome to another episode of Thanalysis Show with your one and only Thanasis Antetokounmpo and Tony C.
We are so close to the playoffs, man.
Oh,
so
man.
close. And baseball season started.
Wow, I can't. You know
Great.
what? I couldn't be even more hyped. It's that time of the season, especially for basketball, for like the NBA, that you're like, okay, now it's for all the marbles now. Now it's like every game matters, you know. So I'm sort of excited about that. But before we do anything like that, want to give a huge shout out to our first sponsor, Gruber Law Offices. One call.
That's all.
Thank you guys so much. You guys have been supporting. It's now always Thanalysis presented by Gruber Law Offices. And obviously we have more sponsors. Prisoner Wine Company, Carbless, and McDonald's in the building. Thank you guys so much. And let's go. Tony, what we got?
All right, so I want to start off right off the bat. We're going to start off hot.
Okay.
250 points. You know where I'm going with this?
I know exactly where you're going with this.
For those who missed it, in an interview last week or so with Pat McAfee show, LeBron James was talking about 70s basketball. And he said Giannis would score, if you put Giannis right now, 2025, in an NBA game in the 1970s, he would score 250 points.
Yeah.
Regardless of how we think that would go, there was, of course, reactions from that. One of the reactions that I saw, which really made airwaves, is Chris Mad Dog Russo, who's been like on the radio for a million years. He lived through the 70s. He calls it, that's his era, right? He does First Take with Stephen A. And he said Giannis wouldn't even come close to that, essentially. He said that him and Julius Erving are not in the same ballpark. And that Dr. J, no disrespect, is a top 12 player of all time. Yeah. And that him and Giannis are not in the same ballpark. So that happened.
First of all, let's start to be compared with Dr. J, man. Like it's an honor.
You're
man.
So positive, man. Because these clips come out today, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's yelling at Matt. This, whatever about 70s basketball. But to put that spin on it, put it in perspective. To be compared to Dr. J, like that's crazy.
Bro, Dr. J's like it's amazing. I think what people should look at after. I mean, obviously, he's entitled to his own opinion.
For
so
sure.
It doesn't matter if he's right or wrong. He's that's why we have free speech. You can say whatever you want to say. But I would say two things. One thing would be, how tall was Dr. J?
I'm gonna look it up officially because I don't think he was 6'10". I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, just check that. What did he weigh? And all these other things, because it does play a big role.
100% plays a huge role.
Yeah. Then
6'7", 210.
6'7", 210?
That's a two guard in today's NBA.
That's a two guard in today's NBA, bro.
That's Ray Allen.
We're talking about Giannis where he's 6'11", 255.
Yeah, no offense to like.
No, he's like a moving truck. Like, you see how players, have you ever noticed when players try to foul him, they put the whole strength in? There was two plays I watched.
You talking about the Suns game?
Which one? He tried to truck him?
There was a play. I don't know who it was against the Suns. He's a freight train.
But yeah, I think it was might have been Royce O'Neal. But if you think about it, right? Giannis is running and he chucks him. Now, if he'd have did that to any other player, that player would have went like, and it would have been flagrant or whatever the case might be. Forget about that. Let's talk about another play against Naismith with the Pacers.
Yep.
Giannis goes up and Naismith clearly pulls his whole shoulder blade, arm, shoulder.
Ripped him down.
Ripped him down. He tried to hold him. But Giannis was so strong that he almost suplexed him midair.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Some of the things we've seen from him recently.
You know what I mean? Like, if people go watch that clip, like, he literally grabbed it and Giannis was like, whoa. And then, like, he was so strong going to the rim that he suplexed him with one arm. So, and not grabbing him by him just propelling his...
The follow through.
The follow through
carried a grown man.
Yeah. So that's where I want to go to. Like, I don't know. I wish we could see guys like, I wish we could see LeBron in the 70s, Giannis in the 70s. I wish we could see Steph Curry in the 70s. I wish we could see Michael Jordan.
I think I've said on this show before, if Kyrie, I was thinking about a guy like Kyrie, if he would go back in time. So I've been watching this Celtics documentary. I think it's on HBO Max, right? And they show clips of these guys practicing. It's not great.
No, but
that's what basketball was back then, right?
Exactly.
And they were learning the fundamentals.
It's based on what they had.
And everything has evolved into you're starting in second grade. Like if you don't have a left hand, like
you're not good enough.
You're not good enough. So the way, like I always said, like if Kyrie went back into time and was playing in the 60s and 70s, he would catch a witchcraft charge. He would be arrested, bro. Like there's no like they would see the things that he can do and be like
that's not
you're
normal.
Not from here.
You're not allowed. They would ban him. They would ban him.
He would be banned for sure.
Yeah.
And I do think, from what Mad Dog was saying, because I do have a question related to this, if anyone from that era was going to play in today's NBA.
Oh,
it's your Dr. J's, it's your Julius Erving.
Will Chamberlain.
I was thinking Bill Russell. I know Dr. J's.
Will Chamberlain.
Yeah, those guys would obviously play today. But if you put Giannis, or LeBron or Steph, these guys who sports are just different. These people dedicate every minute of every waking day to playing basketball. Yeah. With the best medicines, the best trainers, the best routines to be superhuman.
They weigh at least 30% more than the players who played then, and they're like twice as fast. Yeah. This is crazy.
And it's just like
that's how evolution of this body.
And we do this in football all the time. It's like, this guy would have been a great running back today. That guy was 5'6", 165. That's not even a kicker. Like, it's just the way it works. So I love that LeBron recognizes Giannis.
It's amazing. And you know the thing is, like, I love the way he shows love always to but he's a basketball savant. Like, he's a basketball open. But like he says this not because only he's like Giannis. He says this because he knows basketball. He's like, bro, that specific, it's unguardable, or this specific is unguardable. So now, so in this era, right? Who gets fouled the most? Like the 90s, 80s, or 70s?
Oh, it's Giannis, and it's not close. And
Giannis?
It was Shaq before him.
Shaq before, LeBron.
And it was LeBron, and then
nobody else gets fouled like that. So you already know you can't have the argument like, would he be physical enough? Would he be physical enough?
He would also catch a charge, like an assault one for being as strong as he is. Like they used to say how impossible it was to referee Shaq. Yeah, just because like he bodies into you. It's not his fault that you're flying around.
Think about this again, because a lot of times Giannis has been compared to Shaq and how he plays. But let me give you another example. What did Shaq weigh? How tall was Shaq?
Shaq is 7'1".
7'1".
And he had to be 3'10".
3'10". We're talking about 50 pounds less. And we're talking about 2 inches, 2 inches, 6'11".
An inch or two, yeah.
2 inches shorter, right? When we say 50 pounds less, or 55 or 60 pounds less, do you understand what force?
I don't think people do.
This is not just, he's not just a walking mass. Like he exerts so much force. It's like the bullet. If you catch a bullet like this, it doesn't weigh anything. But if it's shot by a gun, it literally goes through you.
Goes through you.
Goes through you. So it's one of those things that he was learning. But okay, never mind.
No, it's just interesting to me.
It is what it
is. The way that people kind of forget in today's day and age, because there's so much money involved in sports too. Like
it is.
NFL, NBA, from the time you are in middle school, unless you're coming from Europe, like you're basically training and being raised in a lab to play basketball. And then you get to this level, you think... You said, Shaq is 50 pounds heavier.
65.
65, yeah, plus. Like significantly heavier. Strength-wise, though, like in a weight room, I bet it's comparable.
Yeah, no. So obviously some stuff you can compare it, but look about this. And obviously the people who are listening can't watch me do this, but it's two forces, right? So let's say my right hand has mass, my left hand has 50% less mass, let's say example, but it's faster and more explosive. So if we go like this, my right hand...
It's just going to win every time.
No, my right hand wins every time. But if we do this, my left hand is right there. It won't let you buzz. Like, boom. So if you learn how to use both, you become a beast. Yeah. You become a beast. So that's what makes everybody special. And obviously, you add more skill to it. But no, what's next?
I said all that to get to this.
What?
On this episode, we're going to have some fun. every couple minutes, I'm going to throw a new top 5 list at you.
Okay,
just to see if you can come up off the top of your head. So we were talking about Mad Dog Russo there. Top 5 media personalities. Go.
Ever or right now?
Right now.
I'm more of a sports guy, but
well, you think too. Anyone who listens to the show
podcasting
knows.
Considered media as
for
well?
sure. Everyone who listens to the show knows when we do top 5, it's in no specific order, and we generally have like 8 or 9 of them.
Okay. Stephen A. Smith, obviously.
He's
on 5. I'm gonna put Shannon Sharp.
Okay.
Money green, this green, that green. Boxing 5. I like that. This green, that green. Whatever. Boxing 5. I'm gonna put Shannon Sharp. Definitely got to put. So you said podcasting as well, right?
Podcasting too, for sure. Yeah.
I like Andrew Huberman. I like his the way he did some stuff. Media personality. So many of them, bro.
There's so many. Like so your list, you have those 3 so far. My list, Stephen A. Smith is.
I wanted to say Jimmy Fallon. I like how he does like.
He's media.
He's not media. I don't know.
No,
what's
for this, he's media. I guess I should have been like sports talk.
Okay, sports talk is Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, McAfee.
McAfee's good.
Yes, bro.
I listen to Dan Le Batard pretty much.
First of all, I would love to go to his show and
you
go crazy.
And McAfee.
Yeah, it would go crazy.
There's no room that could contain the energy.
Bro, it would go viral. And you know how I am as a person. But that one, 4th. No, I said 4 already, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's why.
Okay. So that's it. That's it for me.
We have those.
So next one, what you got?
We can switch right off of that. I was just reading an article the other day about some of the upcoming characters they have for some Marvel movies being re-released, and I know you like movies.
Yeah.
And I was going to get into your top 5 Marvel movies.
Top 5 Marvel movies. Is Blade considered Marvel? Yeah, Blade is.
If you want it to be considered Marvel.
Blade.
Blade
for me is like.
I say Deadpool 1 and 2 every time I'm asked this. They're the best. I don't care if they're not part of the universe. They're the best Marvel movies.
They are part of the universe now. But obviously, you got to give the top 5, which always is the Avengers as a whole, right? The franchise of Avengers, Captain America, Blade, Iron Man, and then you have to go with Thor. That's it. That's the top 5-ish. Not movies.
My list is. That's why I love these, because my lists are so different.
And obviously, people would say X-Men, all that stuff. Okay,
and that's why there's no you can always debate them and go back and forth. But I get Black Panther 1 and 2 in mine. I obviously have the Deadpool ones in mine.
Iron Man, Black Panther 1 was flawless.
Yeah, hands down. And if Iron Man counts, all 3 of them. Those movies are great. So,
okay.
All right, we keep the top 5 list.
Oh, okay, go. Keep on.
We're going to bring up what I had on the next one. Let's get back to basketball a little bit. I love this question. Well, top 5 most underappreciated NBA players.
In today's or in general?
Let's keep it with today's. I have 3 that come to mind so quickly for me.
Which is
I think 2 of them will be on your list.
Which is 3?
One of mine is Tobias Harris. When he was in Philly, I thought he was super underappreciated. Detroit's playing well now.
He played well in Atlanta. Everywhere he's played well.
Chris is 100% on that list. I throw Drew on there too. Hands down.
I didn't want to. You know what happens now, and I'm gonna sound like I'm gonna sound some type of way if I say those 2 names, but they are.
It's just fact. If you know
how they played.
Yeah, basically, I was thinking of the guys who aren't gonna have a million hits on YouTube highlights, but they're winning basketball players.
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart is one of my favorite players.
He's a guy.
10 triple doubles.
Jalen Brunson, when he played in Dallas, was so underappreciated. Now obviously he's become this guy, but Jalen Brunson, it was
what he did to with his contract. So Jalen Brunson's special. Yeah, Josh Hart's on the list. Al Horford's on that list for me.
Most definitely,
he's just been doing it my entire life. Mm-hmm. So
most definitely, bro.
There's just a lot of guys like that.
Oh, I'm trying to think, man.
Each competitive team probably has 1 or 2 of them that kind of go under the radar.
And they're always there.
Yep. So the Cavs right now they have some stars on that team. And then when they played the Bucks about a month ago now, that Max Strus, man.
He's very underappreciated for the Cavs. You know a guy his name is Wade? What's his name?
Dean Wade? I think they have Dean Wade.
He's a foreman, bro.
Yeah.
This guy.
He's like their 10th man.
And he's always so solid. Like, play great defense and at defense and hits like. I feel like guys like that, to me, are always like, they always show up, always play defense. They're always steady.
Do you know what's crazy is we talked about him on a recent episode. I would make the case that Brook Lopez is still underappreciated.
Of course he is still, but he knows Brook Lopez made so much money. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. So you can't say a Hall of Famer is not that appreciated.
Time out. When we posted the clip, when I asked you, because I thought it was a no-brainer, like Brook Lopez is going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
I would say first ballot, but whatever people argue. We posted the clip. No one agrees with us.
Yeah, because that's
I'm just saying.
What did we post it? Is it Twitter? Is it fake? What was this?
Twitter, Instagram.
So what was the argument?
It was Brook is not a Hall of Famer. The stats aren't there. The longevity, like the whole.
Longevity.
I'm just reading the comments.
No, you can't do that. That's bots, man. That's bots.
Or just someone who's never watched a basketball game.
Yeah, but that's bots. That's bots. That's just people just trying to. What is that called now? There's rage bait. They're like, I don't want to get with this, and then they just watch you pile down.
Talk,
tweet it.
Because there's no way those things could be correct.
Yeah, I know. It's
there's a lot of underappreciated basketball players out there.
Many of them.
Who's the kid from Atlanta right now? He just got his 200th steal.
Oh,
Daniels.
Yeah, that's Daniels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's not going to show up on his basketball card.
We can play against him during the summer too in the Olympics.
Did you?
Greece, Australia. Big for them. It was big for them.
Gotcha. What is his nickname? The Great Barrier Reef or something they call him?
Oh, that's his nickname. Yeah, I didn't know.
They call him something like that now. I like that one. All right, let me see what else I got on my list here for you. We'll stick with the NBA. Top 5 handles.
Top 5 handles. Kyrie.
Kyrie's number 1 for sure.
Steph's
up there.
Handles, huh?
If we even go back to players who aren't playing anymore, I think it gets super tricky. Because then people are like, "Where's Hardaway?" Allen Iverson was my guy growing up.
Yeah, but no, we're not gonna go there. We're gonna go today. I feel like Dame is up there.
I was gonna say, I think Dame is up there. Just his
Dame has
to come
crazy
off the screen,
come off the screen, come off right there. That step back move. James Harden
does have a good handle. You remember why?
And Luka.
While you're coming up with your, is that 5?
That's 5.
Do you remember Melo? His highlights. Melo was a little bit taller, so it's harder to have a great handle. But that man used to be able to split a double team by just tossing the ball in front of him, breaking the double team, and getting right back to it. It's unbelievable what he was able to do sometimes. But I'm trying to think of other true point guards. Got a good handle.
Those 5 is like I said, not specific order, but first was Kyrie, Dame, Steph,
Luka, and Harden.
The only guy who's not on the list, which probably could make the top 5, is Chris Paul.
Yeah, he should probably be involved in that one.
100%.
Well. I was trying to think too, just like other. Well, it's so hard. That's why I said top 5 is really top 10s, and we just go from there.
No, top 5.
We keep moving. We're gonna switch it up. Top 5 comedy movies.
Oh, this is a good one. So,
if you asked
three of them involves Eddie Murphy in my list.
Okay.
So one is Life.
Life is on most, yeah.
Yeah. The other one is Coming to America, which is number 1 for me, especially for me because I relate so much. I'm literally
because you legitimately came to America.
So I do relate to that. The third one I would say would be Norbit.
I haven't seen that probably since it came out.
Yeah.
Have you seen all the Eddie, the Nutty Professor?
That's one Norbit. That's
to
me. Obviously that's not the one, but. I think I like Norbit more than Nutty Professor.
The Nutty Professors are funny.
And then 2, I would say at the 4 or 5 is Dumb and Dumber. And something that I would watch all the time would be now. Have you ever watched this? It's called Eurotrip.
Oh yeah, I've seen Eurotrip.
Bro. Listen, when the U.S. was trying to give a definition of what a college meant and frat movies, and they came out with Eurotrip, American Pie, all these kind of other movies, bro, people from overseas were shocked. We're like, bro, that's what going to school in the States is. No way.
It's such a bad look for us.
I was like, people were like, yeah, if you go to college, you got to join a fraternity, and they make you do all kind of stuff. And then you had other movies would come out, like the dancing movies with like Stomp the Yard, and then with the HBCUs, and
so it was like Stomp the Yard, Drumline was all.
So yeah, Drumline, and it was this whole. You remember what I'm trying to say? This era of like just school movies, right? Which they were popular.
So you overseas saw all these movies, and that's what portrayed American collegiate life.
I mean, that's what you promote, right? And that's how propaganda is made as well, Tony. Right? You post whatever you want to post, or you make movies, and all of a sudden you're portraying a place like it's like that, and which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I could put myself in the shoes of like seeing that and be like,
imagine if all your life you want to go to college, right? Mm-hmm. You're like 12 years old. You're watching people driving from college. You want to go to college, and everybody was like, "Okay, you got to be careful in college." And then you start to watch movies about college, and every movie you watch about college, it's not
college.
It's just party and.
Have you ever seen How High?
And stay out of trouble. How High is that with the Wayans?
No.
Is that with Method Man and
Method and Red? Yeah.
No,
a different kind of college movie.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you see what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah.
It's totally different.
Well, that's why you used to, when you first started the show, you used to ask guests, what are like top movies that portray American culture? And every single guest gave you a different answer, which like our top 5 comedy movies, we could go outside right now, ask 100 people. No one, there's 0% chance anyone has the same top 5. Yes. And it's because it's all just so different, and I don't know, it's interesting. But that perspective is super interesting.
Bro, what we got?
I think I got one more for you. I don't even think I can answer this one. This one's all on you.
What?
The top 5. I guess I've traveled to enough of these cities, but I've never played in an NBA arena.
What?
But the top 5 NBA cities to play in.
Playing MSG, New York, the Knicks, Brooklyn as well. I mean, we kind of won a championship in Brooklyn, so that's kind of like a nice sense. Then you got to go with the Heat.
Okay.
And that was that 3?
That was 3. Milwaukee will throw in your top 5 because I know you're
obviously Milwaukee. I can't say about Milwaukee.
You know what would happen if we didn't.
No, but I'm saying, but they know, bro. If somebody questions,
they don't. That's the problem.
I don't care, bro.
Headline tomorrow morning: Thanasis leaves Milwaukee out of his top 5 NBA cities.
So what?
Yeah.
So what? Why do I gotta? Every time we gotta explain, bro. Obviously Pfizer is on fire, but let's take Pfizer out. Let's take Milwaukee out. Okay. We said Phoenix at the 4.
Phoenix at the 4.
Maybe it's based on like we've won.
That's what it's all about, right? All these facilities
and 5
are great.
Obviously Boston.
It's
always nice to play in there, bro.
Is that hotel in Oklahoma City really haunted? Did you ever have any?
We switched
there?
hotels.
Did you?
Yeah, So I remember this story. It was like, we got to switch a hotel. We got to do this, and then we went to this hotel, which was like a museum. Mm-hmm. And you walk in, and this is like this creepy penguins, huge, like this big. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm telling Giannis in Greek, I'm like, hey, man, something's not right.
Hotels.
And then I was going the way that it was developed, but there it was great. But then it was so many celebrities who come to that hotel. You know who I met there? I'll send you a picture too. I gotta find it. You know the actor who plays Lex Luthor all the time, or the actor who plays in Now You See Me?
Now I've seen Now You See Me. I know who Lex Luthor is. I can't think of his name. Is it the younger guy?
Yeah.
He played. Is that Mike? No, it's not Michael Cera. It's the guy who played the Facebook creator, right?
Yep.
What is his name?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
So I met him there. I would take a picture. I was like, oh my God, I'm a big fan. But there was so many celebrities going. I was like, man, what's going on?
Oklahoma City hotel?
Yeah, and then we switched to, it was like a Hilton hotel, I think, or I'm not sure, but we switched to another hotel.
Did you see, so real quick, and we can end it here, did you see the podcast Pat Bev did not too long ago, talking about NBA hotels and people going in and out of them? And he said, the bus pulls up at the hotel. He would be one of the first guys off the bus, and people would be like, oh, can I get your autograph? Can I get your autograph? They were never talking to Pat Bev. It was always like, hey, AD, can I get your autograph? So Pat Bev said he was the guy who would be like, hey, AD, you're not going to sign this for him?
Wow.
And like basically force him to sign it.
Wow.
And then the autograph people or kids or whoever would be like, oh, can I get yours too? And he'd be like, no, you don't want mine before. You're not getting it now.
Wow.
Man, the way that man tells stories is
the way he tells the stories and the way he actually does it. All right? And you can hate him or love him or however you want to do it, but he always stays true to himself. And what you say, what you say, like, oh, you didn't want my autograph? Now you want it? No. That's him.
I can see it happening. 100%. It's the thing.
That's Pat Bev.
Have you ever seen a player do that? Like, so, like, let's just say like a rookie is walking and everyone's like, "Oh, hey, Giannis or whoever, like, can I get?" And then they turn around. You're not gonna sign. Like,
not
Giannis. Pat Bev could do that.
Yeah, only Pat Bev, but he won't. He won't be like a big fella because,
but like,
I think
there's no other play. Can you imagine? Let's just use an example, right? Yeah. Let's just say Bucks are getting off the bus. Dame's got his headphones on. Walking off the bus, people are trying to get autographs, but he's locked in. AJ Green turns around and goes, "Hey Dame, you got like it doesn't work." Yeah, but if Pat Bev did it, it works.
It works, but I'll tell you one thing too. Pat Bev is Pat Bev, so obviously there's no comparison between Pat Bev and AJ Green. Like you can't really compare those two. But what I would say is, if you got your headphones, you didn't hear them, you're not gonna hear Pat Bev. You're not gonna hear somebody yelling at you.
But like the way like he could turn around and just like make it. Hey, sign this. I just feel like it's certain personalities that everyone just, for lack of a better term, everyone just loves that guy in the locker room. Like Pat Bev on the court, dog. Off the court, people are just like, that's just Pat being Pat.
So this is 1,000% true. Pat Bev is the guy, same guy who, at one standpoint, would do this and be a quote unquote like a mean or whatever you want to go, like playfully, always like towards you. And he's the same guy that he will come in and get everybody gifts like in the whole team.
Really?
Yes. That's awesome. He tell you, and the same guy who like you call him like, hey bro, like how we can set this up? I got you, and vice versa. You know, he just he just sees things different,
What? All right, last question.
No, we can keep going. We just
top 3 gifts you've ever received from a teammate.
From a teammate?
Anywhere in the world. You know what? Maybe this happens more in Europe and not in the NBA. So any team you've ever played for.
It's hard because one of my brothers is my teammate. So I've always had.
All right, no, throw it.
So take him away. If I throw him away, I've had the best gifts from my family. Like I didn't even buy a car. I've never bought a car.
You told me that on a podcast before.
I've never bought a car. Every car, like I had, like this is my family's, but like it was like, well, you work so hard and want to give you a gift. Like I've never bought a car. I'll tell you what it was from teammates.
Like in the NFL, you see guys like quarterbacks buy their offensive linemen lavish gifts, trucks, rollies, golf carts, things like that. I've seen NBA like MVPs buy.
Yeah, I think like. Bobby Portis, I mean, it wasn't like necessarily good, but he always like, what I'm saying, show love always, Bobby. No, bro, I just have a big heart, so I just overpower everybody. I feel like with my energy and my heart, I just like, it's like you instantly see me as a big brother. You instantly see me, so it's kind of hard because you know what happens with men and with just people who are like just like me, you don't expect nothing always, right? So when it happens, you're like so shocked. You're like, oh shoot,
100% agree.
But no, I can't go anything from teammates.
No, that makes sense.
One of the things I didn't say, which had to do with like the way they want to compare players to players, right? Like, remember when I told you like about Dwayne Wade and when you got to shake his hand for the body of work he's done.
Yep.
It's the same thing, man. We're trying here to like trying to compare players, but like. If Giannis says Dr. J, he's like, man, Mr. J, like how you, and the vice versa, like, hey, young man, how you doing your thing, So if you're getting the respect from them, it's enough. That's why when you ask me, like, how do you approach it like this and switch it up and say, like, hey, I'm happy that he's even compared to Dr. J, it's because of that reason.
Well, players will always show much more respect and gratitude and appreciation for the ones who have come before them and the ones who are going to do it after them.
Not everybody. No, that's not true necessarily.
But for the most part, a player is more likely to do that and show that love than a media member. They like because the way the landscape is, it's like you need to compare. You have to pin everyone against each other. Whereas like, let's just use guards for one another. Like everyone wanted to pin Kobe against Michael Jordan, right? Kobe this, Kobe that, Michael Jordan that. They shook hands at the end of the day, right? Like they show love to one another in a way that I think it's not a great story to portray it that way.
Yeah.
So they're just not going to. But I think players recognize you walked so I could run, or like things like that. And I think that's important that players still tell those stories. Because like we talk a lot of shit in the media, and it's never good. It's always just like
no, that's a lie. What do you mean it's never good? We bring guys up to like crazy standards, and then we throw them back down. That's not true that we don't talk good, but it's always it's never even keel. It's always up and down, up and down, up and down. It's never the same. Now I remember what I want to talk about. College basketball. Have you watched any of the games?
We have watched all of them. I want to wait on the college basketball one because I have a college basketball episode planned for you.
Okay.
And we are going to get into it.
I'll tell you why too. Because there like two things that I saw and I was like, oh, this. I was shocked. I was shocked. And should I say it now? Or should I just
tease it a little bit?
So it had to do with Duke. So for the first time I watched Duke play, and watch Cooper Flag. I'm gonna watch Cooper Flag, and we had the same conversation with Grant Hill this summer. I was like, bro, he's so balanced. It's ridiculous. Turn around jumper, turn around bomb, getting hit, balance hoop. So like this guy, somebody was saying like he should stay in college. Bro, he would be the biggest mistake.
People say, stay in college to avoid this team. The most, I think.
Are you joking? He should be blessed to go to any team
and that's
that
what
he goes in, and he gets the keys. And when you get the keys, you will develop even faster.
And the crazy part is everyone's like, you make money in college now. You make the biggest NIL deal right now, I think, is close to like, let's just say 10 million. I think it's like 7
So what?
8.
What is the number one draft pick?
I think close to 20, 30, right?
So what are you talking?
Yeah, like I think people, because you can make money in college, it's great. Juju Watkins just tore her ACL.
Man.
Terrible. We hope for a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
That is why NIL is important, right? Because she is able to capitalize before a drastic injury like that. Cooper Flag could make $10 million in college next year, and that would be 25% of what he brings home as the number 1 overall pick with NBA endorsements. So
well, it's not even close. Yeah. But the other thing I want to talk about is Proctor. Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's going to be a really good NBA player.
Bro. It's not because he was making shots. There's a lot of guys who are shooters. But the way he made the shots, he did this, we call it need a 3 dribble.
Okay.
So what's the need a 3 dribble is when you pump fake, you take a dribble to the side step. Not side step dribble, but we call it need a 3. We need a 3. Boom, boom. He did it so fast and so fluent. Looked like a samurai chop. Like he didn't look, how guys do it so mechanically, robotic. Pump fake, dribble, boom. No, he did it so...
You notice, too, him and a lot of guards that, like, the Curry effect that guards are now practicing this, right? If you're defending some of these guys, they never unlock eyes with you when they're doing a move like that. So they're doing, and it's all muscle memory.
What I saw, I don't think Steph Curry does it so fast. The way
really? I mean, we'll put him up side by side.
Put him side by side and watch him do this. Pump fake, whoom.
Okay.
Bro, it felt like he was a choreography. Like, he felt so natural to him. I was like, oh, bro, this is... I can't teach that. I can't sit down and teach you this. We can do neither 3 dribble or side set dribble, whatever you want to call it, all day. But this...
Some people just got it.
Bro. And then he'll come in and hit a shot, and just like the way the face he made every shot he hit. And then he was... obviously towards the 6th or 7th, then he was like, yeah... But the first 4 or 5, he's stone cold.
So the week of the Final Four, we're going to...
Stone cold.
I have a bunch of college clips and some college players from today and former years to run by you. So I'm looking forward to getting your take on that one. But let people know one more time, Gruber Law.
Gruber Law Offices, Thanalysis presented by Gruber Law Offices. It's been amazing. Thank you guys so much. And before we go, one call.
That's all.
That's all. Thanalysis is almost done. Please don't forget to share, like, subscribe. Follow on the socials, tag us, whatever you guys want us to talk about. Let's get it.